in the James Harden trade, in which, I mean, Houston has all the Nets picks until 2027. I mean, that's a whole other conversation that started, to Kevin Durant watching Golden State winning a world championship. They're fourth. Now, 2 without him, and people saying, well, now it feels like between Andrew Wiggins and Harrison Barnes, you can just plug anybody in there. Like that conversation circling around that, to the Kyrie Irving situation, watching Boston get to a world championship, and then everything with the pandemic, and he's on a 1-year pretty much deal until he hits free agency. Yeah, you tell me what other team in all sports has more pressure on them than the Brooklyn Nets.
I mean, I think there's a lot to be said there. Courtney's back with us now. Mad Dog, I'm going to start with you. Do you agree that Jay Will, what he's saying, that the Nets are the ones with the most pressure on them to win a championship in all of sports?
Internally, yes, you can make that argument.
Yeah.
Externally, absolutely not. People do not realize. I've lived here, Freddie's. I've been here for 40 years. The Nets are an afterthought in New York City. They're a much bigger story outside of New York City or Brooklyn than they are in Brooklyn. They're last in the league in attendance. The Knicks kill them TV-wise. The Nets are not a big deal here.
Yeah.
I know they got Durant. I know they got Irving. They are not on a day-in, day-out basis. There's not many Net fans in this area. I know that drives them crazy. Look at their history. Jersey, Comac, the Nassau Coliseum. I mean, they've been all Meadowlands.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been all. I mean, they were in the NBA.
all over.
They were in the NBA final against the Lakers and the Spurs, and they're empty seats. I mean, they are not a big deal. So anybody who thinks they are, they do not know the New York market. The team right now that's got the most pressure on them this year in this town is the Yankees. Okay? They haven't been a World Series since 2009. They are 55-20. They got Judge's contract they're going to have to deal with. The Mets are good. They hate Houston. Houston's won a championship and won 3 pennants, a team they never beat. The Dodgers won a title. They got a huge payroll. They draw, 45,000 a night. It's not even close. It's not a discussion. If the Yankees lose before they win it, I can do 2 weeks on the Yankees dropping the ball again.
Yeah.
So it's the Yankees on a day in, day. They haven't, think about it. These are the New York Yankees, and they haven't been to a World Series since 2000. That's 13 years.
Right. That makes me happy as a Red Sox.
As it should. And the Red Sox have won 4. Remember, that's a good point. The Red Sox have won some titles since the Yankees have last been in a World Series. And the regular season puts more pressure on the Yankees because now at 55-20, and they're going to win 110 games. They got to win the World Series.
Yeah.
All right.
So they have by far, it's not even close. Don't debate it. If anybody says anything, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Listen to him.
we're a debate
the
show.
Yankees.
Come on,
Yankees.
it's not the
We are a
Yankees.
debate show.
Mad
Come on
Dog, it
now.
is not the Yankees. And I hear you in terms of the Brooklyn Nets and their history. You are 100% right. I go back to that Daily News headline when they made back-to-back NBA title appearances and they lost, and the headline read, "What can the Knicks do to get to the New Jersey Nets at that time?" I hear you from that standpoint.
Yep.
But I'm talking about 2022. I'm talking about 2023. When you got a polarizing guy like Kyrie Irving, when you got a polarizing guy like Kevin Durant, 2 guys that, let's be honest, are not liked players inside and outside of New York. Brooklyn Nets fans like them because now people are talking about them. Outside, Kevin Durant has been that villain, especially going back and forth with people on social media. Kyrie Irving is always going to have the villain hat on no matter what people think about him. That's going to be the standard operating procedure when it comes to fans, casual fans, or hardcore fans. But when you have these 2 polarizing figures, it makes them having the most press anybody in sports. The problem with your Yankees argument is we're not talking about the Stormtrooper Yankees. We're not talking about Steinbrenner's Yankees. We're not talking about Reggie Jackson. We're not talking about those guys. We're talking a very likable team. Aaron Judge, you can bring him home and hang out with your parents. Giancarlo Stanton, he can bounce at the door of the bar and keep things in order. When you have an unlikable team that the Brooklyn Nets have seemed to be, and people don't want them to win a championship, when they win or if they win, there's going to be a lot of either very happy people or weeping and gnashing of teeth. If the Yankees win a World Series, Red Sox fans like Victoria Arlen don't want to hear it. They want them to stay down where they are. It is clearly, in my opinion, more than the Yankees. The Brooklyn Nets are the most pressed anybody in sports.
Courtney, we'll get to in a second. I want to interrupt her, but this is a fan thing. The fans, if the Yankees don't win this year, they will take a lot of grief. It's
because
about time they win something, Freddie.
Because they're Yankees
it's
fans. It's because Yankees fans like you have made this whole culture.
But that's what pressure's about, though.
We're not talking about the fans feeling the pressure, but the team feeling the pressure. In the team. Yankees fans always under pressure.
Courtney, please tell
Even
me
when
you're
they
not
win
going to say
championships.
Yankees. Please tell me you're not going to say Yankees.
I'm not. I'm going to agree with what Freddie was saying, just from the standpoint that the Brooklyn Nets leveraged their sanity. So when you do something like that to make all of these pieces fit together and somehow work to be the best team in the East and to win a championship, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on you to make things happen and to do it now. All that they just did to bring back Kyrie Irving and all of the drama that comes with that and fitting everything with Kevin Durant, making him happy, seeing if this Ben Simmons trade is actually going to pan out as a good thing. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on them in the NBA to win a championship. They have the most pressure of any team in the league. But you both are wrong because it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the only team sports-wide that has expectations on them that are this high. Tom Brady didn't come out of retirement, guys, to make the divisional playoffs again and to lose. He's looking for his 8th ring, so the pressure that's going to be on him, that's going to be on Todd Bowles in his first year as the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get this team past the likes of the Green Bay Packers, the Los Angeles Rams, among the powerhouse teams in the NFC. It's immense on this team. Like Tampa Bay, if they don't win a championship this year, after all Tom Brady did to come back out of retirement, how are we going to remember this swan song of Tom Brady's career? Is he going to have to play until he's 50 to meet those expectations? So no, there is no way you can make me think any other team in sports right now has higher expectations and more pressure on them than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, no.
I'm with Courtney. Let's go. Yes.
He won a championship 2 years ago, and he played well against the Rams. If Brady plays well,
Come on now.
what's the pressure? There's nothing there.
Come on now. Exactly.
But it's not about playing well.
Absolutely.
It's not about just
no
playing
way
well.
Tom Brady has more pressure. No
forget
way.
about
Let me ask you this.
Come
If
on.
Brady goes
I'm with you.
If Brady goes 6-11,
Yeah, all right.
what, he's not going to be the
He's not
greatest
gonna-
quarterback of all time?
No,
Sure.
he still is,
Well,
but
that's
he's
the
going to
thing.
go
Yeah.
out with the win.
But that's what it is. You have to, if you are already the greatest quarterback of all
There's
time,
no
no matter what you do
yes.
this year, what difference does it make?
Courtney, he doesn't have the most pressure of anybody in the NFL. That's Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay for all that
That's
Aaron
true.
Rodgers has
That's
done.
right,
But, hey, I love this
Yeah,
guy.
but nobody-
See, there you go.
They have the second best odds right now to
Yes.
win a Super Bowl. Nobody's
That's
giving
fine.
that same respect or those same expectations to a team
not-
that just lost its best receiver in
Exactly.
Devontae Adams. So that's why Green Bay is not in that argument.
They
How
should
are we
be in
going to
that
remember
argument.
the final years of Tom Brady's career, Mad Dog, if he ends up losing a Super Bowl this year? He didn't come back to make it to the divisional playoffs and then lose. He came back to win a Super Bowl. Otherwise, what is he doing?
Nah.
Out of
We're gonna forget
retirement.
2 years
He's
ago.
not under
Now, if they
pressure.
lose 45-41 in LA in a NFC Championship game, where's the pressure on Brady? He played great against the Rams. Nobody said a word.
Absolutely.
Still didn't win
It's
the
not about
championship.
Brady.
Yeah, it's not.
He's
You're
won the
right.
7 titles.
Yeah.
You can't
don't have pressure
when
with
you
7
won
titles.
It's
Exactly.
fine.
That
The
doesn't
Yankees-
match up.
The Yankees
When
haven't
winning
won in
is
30
Here we
the
go with the Yankees
expectation.
again. Yeah.
So,
Winning
all right.
is the expectation for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And
When
with
you have a
Brady.
quarterback who has won 7 rings, he's expecting his 8th. Everybody on that team he holds accountable of reaching his goal. It may not be their own individual goal. They might be happy, like Mad Dog said, of getting to the NFC Championship and losing 45-41 to the Los Angeles Rams, knowing that they gave their best effort. Tom Brady is not that guy. Those expectations from the GOAT extend to everyone else on that team. So they're all going to be feeling it. And if they don't assume all of those responsibilities that come with being Tom Brady's teammate this year, they're not going to be able to reach the level that he expects his team to do. So anything short of a championship for Tom Brady this season, after everything he did to come back, is a failure.
Well, but
Yeah,
that's
I
for
agree.
Brady individually.
Yeah.
This is about a team. This is not about a
He is
particular
the captain
player. It's
of
about
that
a team.
entire ship.
Oh, boy.
They got 2 rings. They won 2 Super Bowls, and they won in. I don't buy Tampa.
Yeah,
and
I'm
Courtney
not
does a
bu-
great job.
Are you
I
still
just don't
riding
know
the
what she's
Yankees
talking
train?
about. It's not
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's not the Nets either. I'm
Well,
surprised
it's
at you.
definitely the Brooklyn Nets. It's
No,
more than
it's
both of
not.
your teams.
Well,
It's
It's
clearly
about
them.
the fans. Z, who's going to give the Nets grief if they lose? You and me? Who cares?
Well, you know who cares? Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving do, because they're tired of getting grief from everybody. They really are. They're going to care about that because let them not win a championship, and they got to hear from you or Stephen A. Smith. Kevin Durant might have 8 burner accounts to come back at you guys. They clearly will pay
And he should
attention.
stop with that, too.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Go watch Gaslit with John Mitchell and Mark Mitchell. Enough of this with him.